Hi, I'm Peter Rivera, aka Pete the Peptide Guy, and this is the podcast lane. So I have a special guest today, and my special guest is Mr. Adam Burns, co-founder of Modern Therapeutics. Adam, it's great to have you here.
Thanks for having me, Peter. Appreciate it.
So you have a very interesting story, and I kind of want the audience to hear it. How did you get started in the health and wellness industry?
Well, let's rewind back to 2000, circa 2003. Um, I got started in the sexual health and wellness industry. At the time, it was known as the sex toy business.
Okay.
It was taboo. Um, I came out with a new material. We started working with glass, and we saw a lot of medical benefits, different from the traditional plastics and rubbers that were being used.
Huh.
I wanted to do something different. I wanted to go mainstream, and I needed to do that. We needed to lose the flashing red lights. Um,
Wow. So you're super ahead of the times then at that point.
yeah, we were the first company to, when we actually went to did our first trade show. Uh, it was all red carpets, black carpets, and we had a white carpet. And everyone's like, "What's going on here?" We're like, "Well, we're taking a more clinical approach here."
That's really fascinating. So then that leads you into modern therapeutics and explain that to the audience.
Okay, well, Modern Therapeutics, we're primarily an HRT, TRT clinic. I think what makes us unique is we give attention to both men and women and couples, most importantly. We have a lot of couples that come in together to visit with us. Um, what I didn't like about the uh, the hormone replacement industry, in college I studied advertising, and I learned that one of the most effective forms of advertising is instilling fear in people, scaring the crap out of them,
Right.
right? You go on any of these TRT websites, you're going to see the same five bullet points, the same stock image. The
Mm.
guy sitting on the end of the bed with his hand in his palms. The wife's frustrated with her arms crossed. You know, here's the reality. If you're a man in your 40s, 50s, and you're not experiencing these things, you're not human. This is part of life. This is normal. Unfortunately, for the sake of making a quick buck, somebody set the standard and decided, let's scare people. Let's make them feel like they're an outcast. They're not normal.
Mm.
Well, that's not the truth. The reality is if you're not going through these things, you're not normal. So I wanted to start Modern Therapeutics to find a safe space, most importantly, to educate people, not to push a retail product on them. Again, this is medicine. It's very serious, but to show them that, um, they can still feel good. Age is just a number. It's how you feel, mind, body, and soul,
Right.
all three.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's fantastic. And I'm glad to have met you and the other co-founder Jesse,
Yeah.
who's not here today, but and you've really helped me on my journey. Because I was at that fatigue spot and didn't kind of know
Mhm.
why. And my docs wouldn't do anything for me because they said that my level wasn't that low, but it was low enough to where it affected me. And I felt like, well, I need some help. Right. And you're not helping me. So, tell me how that works with you guys.
Well, first of all, and it's sad and it's unfortunate, but most of these TRT clinics or hormone clinics, they work off a very strict protocol. We have a very strict protocol as well, but same with doctors. Okay, they look at a number from the lab. Now, what is that number? What is it indicative of? Well, let's say 100 individuals test. They're going to take an average and they're going to give you a range, 300 to 800, 900, and say this is normal.
Yeah.
If you fall below, you're abnormal. If you fall too high, well, they don't even look at that. They want you to suffer. They want to tell you that there's something wrong with you. Reality is that that number doesn't mean anything. When we have clients come into our office, the first question they ask us is, "What's my testosterone level?" You know what we say? "How do you feel? How do you feel?" That number doesn't mean anything. That was just a statistic. It's an average based off of whoever tested that day.
Yeah.
Okay. So there's many men and women out there too. Let's talk about the men first. Many men out there that have a low number that feel great. They're not symptomatic. They're being fed this information that, if they're having libido issues, if they're not performing the same in the gym, maybe possibly relationship issues, fatigue, the stuff we all see out there
Yeah.
to
No,
scare you.
absolutely.
And
Yeah.
it's designed to scare you. And the reason why everybody goes through this, they say you have a good product when at some point in someone's life, they're going to need your product or service. So let's just scare the hell out of everybody.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. When the reality is that this is normal,
Yeah.
this is part of life.
Right. Right. Yeah.
We can't stop the aging process. We can definitely slow it down.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
You
No,
know,
and I agree with you. And so the man side. So now talk on the woman's side.
well, it's interesting because just recently, well, up until recently, it's been a big no-no. There's been a lot of misinformation, a lot of false claims that TRT for women causes cancer.
Yeah. Hmm.
That's no longer the case. The evidence isn't there.
Right.
What it's doing, it's allowing us to have open, engaging conversations with women now. When in the past, we were always in a position to do it because we knew that wasn't the case. But you go to your general practitioner, OBGYN, most of these doctors are not all of them, but a lot of them they're sheep. They have to follow rules. They have to be ethical
Yeah.
and do what's trendy for the medical industry. And I say trendy because it is a trend.
Right.
If
Hmm.
no one else is doing it, I can't do it either. I can't be a free thinker. I can't think for myself.
Right.
But where is the evidence? The evidence isn't there.
Right. Yeah. No. I mean, your approaches and having been in had the one-on-ones and been in that office is unique in itself, where it's you really care about the person that walks through that door. It's not
Right.
a statistical number. You know what I mean? That person is a person, and
Right.
you're really trying to optimize them for them.
Absolutely.
And I think that's where the caring comes from between you and Jesse. Um, you know, how's modern therapeutics different? Obviously, we already stated some things, right? But overall, different than every other TRT place that's out
Okay.
there.
Well, I'd say modern therapeutics, we're not a volume-based business. We focus on education. Education empowers you.
Yeah.
How many people, how many times do you go to the doctor and doctor says, take this pill, swallow this, do this? Look at the vitamin industry. You don't feel vitamins. Now, peptides, it's another topic, but you can feel the peptides,
Sure.
some of them very
Yep.
quickly. Vitamins, they just tell us that they're going to work. We're buying into packaging.
Right.
They make promises to us, and reality is that we pass most of those supplements through our body. We're not even absorbing them in our
Right.
system.
Yeah. Yeah. One thing I found interesting about your business model and what I love about it is we always had this conversation is blood work.
Yes.
Blood work's big buzzword. Blood work. Everybody should have it, by the way, and know where your numbers are. Tell me how you guys do it though, because it's different.
Well, we encourage everybody that comes in the clinic to get blood work for education,
Right.
whether or not they're a candidate for TRT or peptide therapy or any other fountain of youth remedy,
Yeah.
if you will. Uh, Number one, it's important to do your blood work. We have to, especially for men, we need to, check your levels, make sure your PSA isn't elevated. There's certain safety measures. That way, if you are a candidate and we decide collectively that, we want to help you,
Yeah.
and you're suffering,
Right.
you're
Right.
suffering, you're not feeling, up to
Yeah.
par. We need to have that in place for safety reasons, first and foremost. But that's not the biggest benefit of blood work. In my opinion, the biggest benefit of blood work is education,
Gotcha.
understanding where your body's at, what you're going through, why you feel this way or why you don't feel this way. And then we can discuss testosterone and
Yeah.
or peptides.
Yeah.
TRT doesn't just involve testosterone. That's a good introduction, but you know, we, we're living now in a times when we have access to peptides and things that can supplement. There are other medications. There's a lot involved into it than just, injecting yourself once a week with a syringe
Yeah.
and, and,
Yeah.
and thinking that, oh, if I get my testosterone number up on the lab report, I'm going to feel better. Americans are all about more is better. bigger portions,
Yeah.
more
Yep.
money, bigger
Right.
cars, fancier clothes, a high testosterone number. But the truth is that a high number, we have guys that come in, high numbers, they feel horrible.
Right.
Low numbers, they feel great.
Yeah.
It's very individualized. There's no one size fits all. And that's what makes modern therapeutics different. We're education based, and we focus on the symptoms. And of course, we need to do the blood work
Mhm.
to make sure that you can safely take this medication. But that's not a deal breaker. And in most clinics, you have a lot of non-medical people working in there. It's they say qualifying numbers, let's say 500, and you're at 501. Sorry, you don't qualify. But I'm having all these symptoms.
Yeah.
You don't qualify.
So let everybody know very quickly, how can they get the care that you're offering? How they find you?
Well, I'd say jump to Google first. No,
Okay.
we're located here in Scottsdale, Arizona, 90th Street and Shea.
Okay.
We offer same day, next day appointments. First thing we want to come in, we want to meet you. Tell us your story. What are you going through?
Gotcha.
Are you in a relationship? Is there anything else going on? As I mentioned, we would another thing that makes us different is that we do take care of the ladies too,
Great.
and we encourage couples to come in together. There's a lot of animosity that can arise between two people that share a bed together. They don't want to blame themselves. They definitely don't want to blame their partner. But when we can get two people sitting in a room together and say, "Hey, look, guys, this is part of you're human.
Yeah.
You're 42. You're 46.
Yeah.
This is part of life.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not his
You're
fault.
doing amazing. Yeah. You're doing amazing work there.
Libido. This is normal.
Right.
But there's things we have remedies for you if
Mhm.
you're a candidate for it, and it's safe for you to take. We can help you, but I'm not here to sell you on anything. If anything, I'm going to send you out the front door.
Okay.
How do you feel? You feel great? Maybe I can help you in the future. If you're ever not feeling up to par, come talk to us. We'd be happy to help you. But we're not looking for that fast sale.
Awesome,
Um,
Adam. And I thank you so much for coming in and podcast lane. I'm Pete Rivera, aka Pete's Pet Guy. This is Adam Burns, Modern Therapeutics. Thanks so much for stopping by.
Thank you, Peter.